day and said that he had missed the call and had the other phone. played us and got beat them by like 15 and 20 while they played on grass. This Fort Frye boys had the older guy with the girls in the middle of it, you know. I think they had changed
Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., 8 to 10 on Friday, and then basically all day Saturday.
Yeah. And no one wants that Saturday shift, and nobody wants to get up at 6 o'clock. And I don't blame either for saying I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. and go to
That's what I said
classes until like
Yeah,
11.
well, he couldn't do Monday, Wednesday, Friday because he's got a class at 7:30.
Oh.
And then Tuesday, Thursday, I said you'll just wear yourself out if you're getting up at 5:30 to go to work on a Tuesday or Thursday for
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Barnesville High School. Tonight, the Shamrocks take on the Fort Frye Cadets. Both teams have been struggling as of late. Fort Frye comes in at 2-9 on the season. The Shamrocks have dropped 6 of their last 7, I believe, and we're 5-6 on the year. Jeremy Hunkler gets the tip, and Fort Frye in their patented man-to-man defense.
Shamrocks have Colton Hines, Tayson Starr, Kason Powell, Asa Geilinger, and Jeremy Hunkler on the floor. Dawson Layton, Owen Brown, Zach Huffman, Clayton Miller, and Casey Brooker for the Cadets.
And Kason Powell, the senior for Barnesville. Nice drive and 2 points to start the Shamrocks off on the right foot. He did a little tippy toe there before he fired that shot. Dawson Layton, that is. But no call, and the shot's no good. Shamrocks being patient, working the ball around well. Powell pulled the trigger, and Asa Geilinger came up with the offensive rebound, which I think that's offensive rebound number 24 on the season for Asa Geilinger, and the Shamrocks knocked down the 3.
Kason had a really good look there at the top of the key and just pulled up and hit the 3.
Shamrocks off to a good start, especially if Powell could have got that one to go, but no. We're approaching 2 minutes into the first quarter with Fort Frye colder than it is outside right now.
Looks like the Shamrocks were a little confused on the defensive assignment right there. Guy was wide open for that 3 on the wing.
Fort Frye has had a couple good looks, but it's not falling for him here on the road. Asa to Powell. Oop. Mishandle there between Powell and Tayson, the Kason to Tayson connection. Misfired. Oop. Tip pass almost went to the Shamrock side. Entry pass gets loose in the lane, and Kason Powell will come up with it. Up. The bobble, and that a hoop and the harm for Owen Brown will get Fort Frye on the board here at the 5:19 mark of the first quarter. Fort Frye has scored.
It looked like Kason went straight up right there and held his ground. Number 2, Owen Brown, kind of jumped up into him and just a little bit of contact, and they called the foul on Kason for his first.
And he completes the 3-point play to get back to within 2. Hunkler directing the offense, still a little bit off kilter here to start off. Hines from foul line extended, gets his own rebound, tipped by Fort Frye, and back to the Shamrocks, who will inbound here from the 28-foot line. Hunkler into Hines. Looking over the defense. Geilinger at the top of the key, over to Powell. Powell to Hunkler, but the ball gets tipped away by Casey Booker, the lone senior on the Fort Frye squad. Brooker to Owen Brown with the miss there. Kason Powell going to drive. Rejected by Casey Brooker. Brooker is 6'2". and he's going to pick up a foul. So that's Brooker's first foul on the night, and our second foul overall here in the quarter, one on each team.
Fort Frye just had Braden Morgenstern check in for the first time.
Hunkler to Powell. Powell wanted to pull the trigger. Powell's just been a little bit off tonight. Timeout, Shamrocks. Kaysen's just looked a little bit off tonight. Not sure when he wants to pass, and has kind of faked himself out a couple times.
Yeah, just
here.
a little bit out of sorts, like he was rushed. A little confusion between the two of them. You know, who was supposed to do what. You know, it's a good timeout by Coach Hines. Get them settled down, get things under control here in the first quarter.
Barnesville looked like they might come out and take control early, but have just not got a real good look the last 2 or 3 trips. But tonight's game brought to you by Do It Best Hardware here in Barnesville, bringing you some high school basketball. We sure appreciate Do It Best Hardware bringing you tonight's game. Hines will direct the offense to Geilinger. Geilinger to Hines, back to Geilinger.
Coach Hines over there making some comments to the team about being sloppy. I couldn't have said it any better. They've just been sloppy with the ball, sloppy in their offense right now, just out of sorts.
He's not, Coach Hines is not happy. Yeah. And for Fort Frye, number 4 here, Zach Huffman, a sophomore. Oh, nice pass, but just mishandled a little bit. Fort Frye loses the handle again. Kaysen Powell comes up with it and into the rim and no good.
He got his own rebound.
Just not in rhythm yet. Kind of a 4-crossed offense, but again, passes into the knee, a little bobbling, just not feeling clean. Just need to get into a little bit of a rhythm. But Fort Frye's defense will have a way of making you get out of a rhythm. They've given Geilinger a little bit of a cushion. That little elbow jumper might have been there. But being patient, a little bit too much with the hands. Owen Brown is going to pick up a foul.
That's his first on the game for the Cadets.
And second for the team. 2:42 left in the first quarter. We're stuck at 5-3. Both teams cold as it is outside right now. Referees tightening things up here a little bit.
Foul's going to be on number 1, Dawson Layton. His first, team third.
Powell to Starr to Geilinger. A little spread offense here. The pass and the flash. Hines with a drive that gets stopped at the foul line. Again,
Fort Frye still in that tight man-to-man and switching off at the top of the key.
And Powell gets comfortable and pulls the trigger and gets the Shamrocks off the 5-point mark. Now it's Fort Frye's turn to be a little bit awkward. Firing it up from top of the key. That was Dawson Layton. They're going to get a second chance opportunity, and they make good on the second chance. Owen Brown knocked that one home.
That last defensive set, Barnesville just didn't do a good job boxing out underneath. Just lost track of their man. Guy got inside position.
Hines just a little bit too much on the screen. And Dawson Layton did a good job of emphasizing how it was a little too much.
Logan Dodd and Duker Costello checking in for the Shamrocks. Hines and Asa Geilinger Tayson Starr going to get a little breather on the bench.
Looking a little bit like the 1-3-1 here out of the Shamrocks. Zach Huffman, sophomore, starting to heat up a little bit. Duker with the ball over to Hunkler. Hunkler trying to drive. Geilinger, elbow, jumper, no good. Powell comes up with the loose ball. Dodd to Hunkler. Hunkler with a nice drive, but not enough to get it up there onto the rim.
Just got a little bit too far underneath the bucket, and there was just nothing he could do with that shot.
Worked hard to get to the hole, but couldn't finish it off. That's Zach Huffman again. That's 2 in a row for him. Got the hot hand, and the Cadets are up 12-8 with under 10 in the quarter. 5 seconds. Powell, no call. Shot, not a bad look there at the buzzer, but it in and out for the Shamrocks as they have a 4-point deficit here at the end of 1. The Shamrocks just never got into any rhythm or flow, and Fort Frye's defense is solid, but I think the Shamrocks are hurting themselves here more than we may have lost the whole operation.
Sloppy play by the Shamrocks on defense, losing track of their guys. They were up 8-3, and Fort Frye went a little 9-0 run, hitting 3 consecutive three-pointers.
We may be we've long been known that we had faces made for radio, and so we may, I don't know if we can hear us here, but we have had some technical difficulties with the camera. We had a little melee happen there, and the camera has went flying, and the Strauss boys are working as hard as they can to get things
feverishly
back
putting
up and
things back together. It looks like we do have a little bit of picture coming out in the second quarter. If you can still hear us, we got Casey Powell, Colton Hines, Logan Dodd, Asa Geilinger, Jeremy Hunkler, and for Fort Frye, number 2 Owen Brown, number 4 Zach Huffman, 44 Casey Brooker, 12 Clayton Miller, and number 4 Zach Huffman. I don't believe I mentioned 4.
Yep. And
Shamrocks in that man-to-man.
We've got a foul.
I think Colton Hines might have just picked up his second foul, Coach Pack.
Yep, that's who he got. Fort Frye's going to inbound it. Brooker out to Clayton Miller, the freshman, and Fort Frye has found their outside
little 12-0 run here, end of the first and the beginning of the second. Casey Powell didn't have court awareness right there and just stepped back right on the out-of-bounds line.
Had a foot on the sideline. Well, we have a little bit of confusion here. He had his foot on the sideline. Now, we had inbounded the ball, but the buzzer stopped the clock. Fort Frye hands the ball back over to the official. The question was whether it was a 2 or 3 on the last shot, and they said it was a 3. Well, now we've got a ball onto the floor. We've got all kinds of chaos going on here. Fort Frye is going to try this for the third time. We're going to inbound from midcourt. The sophomore, Zach Huffman, top of the key, over to Owen Brown. Owen Brown to Brooker, to back to Owen Brown. Brown with the drive to the inside. Off the rim, no good. Kaysen Powell with the rebound. Hunkler brings the ball up the floor. Hunkler at the top of the key, over to Hines on the right wing. Back to the left wing. Kaysen Powell for three. It's up and no good. Fort Frye closes in on the rebound, and you've got Clayton Miller, the freshman, top of the key, over to Zach Huffman. Huffman to Brown. Brown to Brooker. Brooker to Clayton Miller. Back to Dawson Layton. Owen Brown, top of the key, to Brooker on the right wing. Down to the corner to Miller to Brooker. And it's out of bounds off of Hines. Fort Frye will inbounds under the hoop here. Shamrocks have zoned up here. And Brooker in the corner, back to Huffman, top of the key, and he's good. Fort Frye has gotten comfortable. They've found their mark, and now they have increased the lead to 10. 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Asa Geilinger, top of the key. Kaysen Powell, top of the key. Dodd back to the top of the key.
It's just like the Shamrocks are just lagging on defense a little bit, giving them that extra step, and they're knocking down the threes.
Ooh. Kaysen Powell made a strong move to the hoop. Probably a 50-50 call there, and it's going to go against the Shamrocks. Powell gets whistled for the foul. They'll wave off the bucket, and that's going to be number 2 on him. Huffman got the ball coming across the timeline. Fort Frye gaining some confidence here. Only 2 wins on the season, but up. Ooh. I don't know. That was a close call there. Well, and if Hines touched it into the backcourt, it wouldn't necessarily have been a backcourt call. He was pretty quick on the whistle, and I'm not sure who. You'll have to rewind that on the tape and see if it was Hines that touched it first.
You have to pause and rewind, but yeah, you're exactly right. If Hines gets just a finger on that, then Fort Frye can pick that ball up, and it's not a backcourt violation. Yeah. So
he was saved by the referee there, calling the backcourt call. Shamrocks will get it inbounded here underneath. Hunkler's going to be the inbounder. Hines making a move towards the hoop. The pass is into him. He makes a drive. And off the front of the rim. No good.
Carter Booker back into the ball game for the Cadets, number 24.
Oop. Tipped by Dodd. Goes back into the hands of Huffman, and Huffman finally misses one. Huffman wanting to pull the trigger again, drives all the way around the rim and falls out.
Geilinger with the defensive rebound, a quick pass out to Dodd, who just wasn't ready for it, and Shamrocks turned the ball over again.
Yep. Off Dodd's fingers and into Fort Frye's hands now.
Dodd's going to head to the bench, and number 0, Casey Carpenter, is going to step on the floor for the first time tonight.
Freshman Carpenter. Number 1, Dawson Layton, he's a junior. Shamrocks rebound. Hunkler to Powell. Powell eyeing up the situation. Hines settles things at the top of the key. Tayson Starr. Yep, and again, the Shamrocks
burn another timeout here in the first half.
Another one, not feeling comfortable here against the Fort Frye man defense. Just kind of out of kilter here, and Coach Hines is not happy with the Shamrocks' execution on the offensive end of the floor here. But really, at this point, 18 points given up to Fort Frye is not so bad. on most years. Fort Frye has point production has not been super high this year, but they've been hot tonight.
That 18 points is a 15-0 run right now. The Shamrocks are up 8-3 and have just been outscored by 15, and it's a little lackadaisical defense, some missed shots, questionable foul called on Case and Powell on that drive to the bucket that could have went either way. I thought it was a blocking foul, but so they've just not been in sync right here in the first 2 quarters of the ball game.
And that was the kind of drive that would have got your offense sparked a little bit. If that one, the bucket was good but waved off. We'll see if the Shamrocks can regroup here. Certainly in this ball game and certainly capable of competing here. Shamrocks just needing a little bit of confidence here. The team that gets some confidence here over this last 4 minutes of the second quarter might be the team that pulls it out tonight.
Nice little backdoor cut by Tayson Starr.
Yep, Hunkler to Starr. Nice backdoor cut for 2. And the Shamrocks needed that badly. Say the intensity is up on the defensive end here too. Moving to a man defense here. We'll see if the defensive change spark the Shamrocks into a little bit more of a rhythm. That one did not find the zip code. And Hunkler, left all alone, checks the weather and pulls the trigger. And he's got the Shamrocks back to within 5.
Hunkler got the defensive rebound on that miss, brought it up, and just decided he was going to test the waters on his own right there.
Well, and when they give you that kind of look, you got to take it, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Shamrocks. And Fort Frye is going to take a timeout and reassess things here. But you can see there was just a different air there with the Shamrocks defensively, a little more confidence. Offensively came down, and a little bit of confusion on the Fort Frye side this time.
Fort Frye still got Zach Huffman on the floor with Owen Brown, 34 Braden Morgenstern, 24 Carter Brooker, and 5 Zayden Huck. Shamrocks still have Casey Carpenter, Hines, Colton Hines, Casey Powell, Hunkler, and Duker Costello checks in on that timeout.
And the Cadets go for a little bit of backdoor and increase their lead back to 7. 3 minutes to go, first half. Costello to Carpenter. Hunkler looking things over. And we changed the offensive call here. Loose ball. Hines is going to collect it. We're back in here, makes the move, and a foul is going to get called on Fort Frye.
That's Zach Huffman, his first. Shamrocks have Tayson Starr getting ready to check back in, and 12 Clayton Miller coming back on for the Cadets.
Both teams with 5 fouls now. See if we get to the one-on-one here in the first half. Two and a half left to go. Powell off the front of the rim. And Owen Brown collects it, brings it up across the timeline for the Cadets. Number 34, Morgenstern. Huck there on the left wing. That's a long-time Fort Frye name. There seems to always be a Brooker or a Huck or both. And inbounds play there, almost had a good look at the hoop. Huck on the wing. You can tell the Fort Frye faithful not happy that he didn't pull the trigger there. but Fort Frye trying to be patient and work for a good shot. Clayton Miller, freshman. And that was just what the doctor ordered for Fort Frye. So we're down to the last 90 seconds of the first half. Hunkler going to collect things at the top of the quarter, kind of run a 1 round 4 or 1 and 4 across. The Shamrocks are going to get it inbounded as Fort Frye makes a line change.
I think this last minute and 24 seconds, Shamrocks just need a couple good offensive series, played good solid defense and cut this 10-point lead, try to cut it in half or even more. Go in at halftime, if nothing else, try to get the lead, get a quick 10 points. But I think looking to cut it in half, going at halftime is the best thing that they could order right now.
Fort Frye went with a smaller lineup. Powell taking it inside, gets a second chance, almost a third chance. Loose ball, Fort Frye comes up with, transition, no good. Powell, back to Hunkler. Hunkler is good. A little speedier action going on, favoring the Shamrocks right now. See that Fort Frye seems to be content that they were going to go with one shot. It might have been the plan the last time down, but the transition was just too enticing to pass up. And they don't listen to coach. They drive the lane, and they're going to give the Shamrocks another chance to cut into the lead here before the half. Hines from 3, and he does. He's got it down to 4 with 15 seconds.
Need good solid defense right here.
Yep,
nice
and a turnover. Carpenter takes it away from Brown, and he's going to be a foul call with 3.9 seconds left in the first half. The Shamrocks are going to have a chance to cut it to 2, and I'm sure, as you can see from the expression from Coach Henniger over there, that not exactly what he wanted to happen here the last minute. Tayson Starr good with the first one, and that's going to cut the deficit to 3.
Huck's coming in. Zach Huffman going out for Fort Frye these last 3 seconds.
His second shot up and no good. And shot from half court, not going to fall. But the Shamrocks able to rally there within the last minute of the first half to cut the deficit to 3. Looks like it's going to be an interesting ball game the rest of the way. Kind of some back and forth here. Two teams that are kind of struggling right now on the season and looking to find some confidence, looking to find some answers, and get on a roll for the second half of the season here. Tonight's game is sponsored by Do It Best. They have a variety of products and services to fit your needs, from steel power equipment to Orca coolers to paint. Do It Best offers window screen repair and chain sharpening. If we ever get snow this year, you'll want to make sure you get prepared for it by going to Do It Best to get your shovels and snow and ice melt. And if they've got any Christmas lights left, I know they were 75% off. I loaded up the other day. And so
can never have enough Christmas lights.
For the Tacoma Festival lights out there. We'll be in good shape next year because of Do It Best hardware, and there's 75% off Christmas lights sale.
And Do It Best is located right in downtown Barnesville, 140 South Chestnut Street. Go in and talk to Ted or Kelly Hanlon, and they'll treat you right.
Yep, we're sure glad to have them sponsor some high school basketball for everybody on this cold night that couldn't make it out to the gym. Still get to be able to see perennial power Fort Frye come to town. Been a long time. I'm not sure Fort Frye has ever made the trip up to Barnesville. I can think of 3 trips to Fort Frye in the
always
last few years.
Ended in a little disappointment down there too. But
and we've had some tough sledding now. One of the last times was the OVAC championship year, though. We came from behind and somebody's winning some money here on 50-50. But pretty entertaining first half of basketball. The Shamrocks started the game out and came out and had 5-0 lead. Fort Frye was able to get on the board with a traditional three-point play. And then from there, both teams struggled to score. Fort Frye was able to go on a run at the end of the first quarter, and then extended into the second quarter, and we saw about a 15-point run by the Cadets there. The Shamrocks responded with their own run to end the quarter. The last minute of the half, Fort Frye opted to take the big guys off the floor, go with a smaller unit, and I think the intent was to maybe just run a half-court offense and run the clock out, but a transition opportunity went awry for them, and they pressed in maybe a shot that they didn't need in the lane that probably could have ran the clock out there and got the last shot. It cost them 4 points because the Shamrocks were able to come down and get a three, get another steal that led to a foul shot opportunity, and the Shamrocks got to be feeling a whole lot better about themselves after being able to cut the deficit back down to 3 here at halftime. But 23-20.
I was going to do a couple of just real quick stats. Shamrocks were 2 for 10 in the first half from 2-point land, 5 for 9 from 3, 17 for 19 on the first half stats for 36%. Scoring wise for the Shamrocks, Tayson Starr with 3, Jeremy Hunkler with 6, Colton Hines with 3, and Kaysen Powell for 8.
And just to kind of remind you of the upcoming schedule, we are on the schedule to go to Shenandoah. The boys are this Friday night. I'm not sure. We've heard some COVID-related rumors and things. I'm not sure if that game hasn't already been in the process of getting rescheduled. So before you make the trip to Sarahsville Friday night, unless you're just going down to RJ's carry out there.
That's always a good place to stop on the way and on the way home.
You might see me there if I was going to go watch the ball game. You would, but
get a quick bite to eat.
But I would double check that one before you make the trip down to Shenandoah on Friday. Tuesday we're at Monroe Central, and then we've got a 4-game homestand following that. A Friday, Saturday, Caldwell, St. Clairsville doubleheader pretty much there. That's pretty going to go a long ways to decide whether the Shamrocks stay in the top 4 in the OVAC and whether we have an opportunity. Right now, River is holding on to the top spot, and 4th place earns you a trip to Hannibal again to
see the Pilots.
And but maybe a third time will be the charm if we can get the Pilots maybe a little bit overconfident. If we can get things going against Caldwell and St. C. We went down to Caldwell the other night, played them real tough, and led for most of the game, and then the game got away from us in the 4th quarter. I know Caldwell had played Fort Frye the other day and came out with a 17-point victory against the Cadets. So the Caldwell-St. Clairsville doubleheader here at home. We're still looking for sponsors to bring you high school basketball action for those 2 games. Following that, the homestand continues on Tuesday, January 25th against Buckeye Local, and Friday, January 28th, Bridgeport comes to town. Both of those are very winnable games and should help the Shamrocks stay in a position to stay in the top 4. I'm sure we would prefer to play somebody besides River in the OVAC playoff, but if you can make the top 4 and give yourself a chance at an OVAC championship, I'm sure the Shamrocks would like to do that. Now, we finish off the season at Union Local, which the Shamrocks were able to get the win against them here at home. I'm sure they're licking their chops and ready to get the rematch going on February 1st. February 4th, we saw Martins Ferry, who was coming in on a 6-game losing streak, get hot and get some injured players back, and they were able to turn the tables on the Shamrocks and get a win. And they're an up and down team. So we'll see if we can't to do the same to them and go to Martins Ferry and pull off an upset down there. And so the season will be over before you know it.
A few other things on the schedule this week. Tomorrow, varsity bowling at St. Clairsville versus Buckeye Local. The varsity swim team will be at Wheeling Park taking on Wheeling Park and University. That's at 5:30, and that's going to be senior night. And then the freshman basketball team scheduled to play Cambridge tomorrow at 5:30. Thursday, JV and varsity girls are at home versus Martins Ferry. The wrestling team will be starting the OVAC Ron Mock Wrestling Championships Thursday night, and that would be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Always love to put on the TV Saturday evening and watch those championship bouts, and hopefully we'll see several Shamrocks participating in the final round, competing for first place. Also on Friday, varsity bowling again will be taking on. We'll be at the Russell's Family Bowling Center versus River. Coach Pack had mentioned about the basketball team possibly playing Shenandoah. And then on Saturday, varsity swim at the OVAC Championships at Steubenville at 11 a.m. Always enjoyed going to watch varsity swimming at Steubenville when Alexa, Starr, and Olivia participated. Loved swimming.
Wanted to mention, too, that the JV was victorious tonight. The junior varsity squad knocked off the cadets tonight by a score of 47-33. I don't know. What do you expect here in the second half, Coach Starr? What kind of adjustments do you think Fort Frye and the Shamrocks will be looking to do? What do you think they want to clean up the most?
I would say Coach Johnny Hines probably got on them about their defense. They were really sagging off the guys on the perimeter, giving them, one-step, nice open threes. And that last minute and a half, we tightened up the defense. Maybe he chewed on their ears a little bit in the huddle a couple times. They played a little more pressure defense. We forced some turnovers and had a quick, boom, 7-point run. I was saying I'd love to see them cut that 10 points down to 5. I don't think you could ask for much more than cutting it down to 3. That's one shot coming out here in the third quarter, and it's a tie ball game. So I thought they played great that last minute. I think they need to keep up defensive intensity and hitting the boards offensively and defensively, and taking good shots. And early on in the game they were just sloppy with the basketball. Cut down on the turnovers that are occurring with mishandling the basketball. And I think we can come away with the win with this. I'm looking forward to a great second half.
The Shamrocks definitely looked a lot more confident playing the man and being a little bit more aggressive. At times we looked a little bit confused when we sat back in the zone and people got loose. And Fort Frye definitely got some good looks against the zone. And I'm sure that the Shamrocks are going to want to continue that defensive intensity. Shamrocks get the ball first coming here out of the half.
Shamrocks have Colton Hines, Jeremy Hunkler, Asa Geilinger, Kaysen Powell, and Tayson Starr out on the floor, their starting lineup. And Fort Frye has number 2, Owen Brown, number 4, Zach Huffman, 12, Clayton Miller, number 1, Dawson Layton, and 44, Casey Brooker.
Hines was set in the corner, but the pass didn't quite make it. Nice ball movement. Asa Geindler from Tayson Starr with the assist, and the Shamrocks have got it cut to 1 30 seconds into the third quarter. Fort Frye had 4 men low. Huffman out to the freshman Miller. Huffman to Miller again. Dawson to Brooker to Miller, and Miller banks it in. Banked it from the corner. Not textbook, but it counts just the same. The Shamrocks, Kaysen Powell, that one was a whole lot prettier going through the nets. And
I always told people that when you banked in the 3, that was more difficult, like a trick shot and pull.
It should probably be worth 4.
I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to give it a hard 3.
Yeah. Huffman, the sophomore, you see his confidence grow as the game goes. And it's back to a 3-point margin. Hines, top of the key. The Shamrocks tend to get a little bit dribble happy. A little bit too much dribble, not enough pass, and that's kind of been the trouble. Kaysen gets a good look from the top of the key. It's a little bit deep, but he's going to pull the trigger and tie things up here just under the 6-minute mark of the third quarter.
Powell leading the way for the Shamrocks. He's got 14 in the game so far.
Miller to Dawson, and Fort Frye turns it over. Fort Frye playing a soft man for right now, trying to make the Shamrocks be their own worst enemy. But Shamrocks penetrate, kick, and Tyson made a nice move to the bucket. He gets shoved as he goes up, and he's going to get a chance to shoot 2. But
I think Tyson Starr took a hit by both Fort Frye defenders, Layton
but much better ball movement over on that one. The ball got side to side. It didn't just stay at the top of the key. When you move the ball from side to side, defense has to work a whole lot harder. First one doesn't go. Chance to put the Shamrocks in the lead for the first time since early in the fourth, or midway through the first, I should say. Midway through the first.
Morgenstern checked in for the Cadets at that in between the foul shot attempts by
Miller,
Starr.
the freshman, eyeing up Hunkler. Back to Brown. Brown, a junior. Back to Miller. And so Brooker, the big man, way out away, open things up for Huffman, who makes a drive. It was a difficult shot going to the left and shooting it back towards the right, kind of like quarterback trying to throw back across his body to make a pass completion. That's a difficult shot to hit.
He missed the little runner there, and then he did a classic, took a little swipe and got the cheap foul after the missed shot. Benefited the Shamrocks.
Yep, and the Shamrocks going to get another chance to retake the lead. Geilinger from the foul line missed it.
.44 Casey Brooker on the shot underneath for the Cadets.
Too many empty trips here for the Shamrocks. They need a bucket to keep things in rhythm. Looking a little bit better offensively. There was some rhythm and flow there, and they're able to knock it down and get back in the lead for the first time since early in the first quarter.
Just the Shamrocks are just taking better quality shots. Everything's starting to fall for them. And offense is running a little more smoothly than it was early on.
Fort Frye's turn to get a little sloppy and lose the ball. We'll see if the Shamrocks can take advantage. That ball almost went into the crowd over there with Bubba Caprill, Nick Saffield, and Kenny Triplett over there. Hines' shot, not good, and Fort Frye is going to get the ball. Huck to Owen Brown. Brown to Huck to Morgenstern. Huck, Brown, and Huck.
Nice little block there by Tyson Starr. followed him in, was on his hip, timed up the shot, went straight up, and just tapped it out of bounds.
Huck again passed up kind of a top of the key look. Wide open. Owen Brown makes a move on the interior and for a short little handoff and an easy 2. Ooh. You can hear everybody over here officiating on that one. Hines, nice move to the bucket, off the glass and in, and the Rocks retake the lead. Under 3 here in the third quarter. About the third time in a row they've run that little set. Brown wanting to go one-on-one. Hines comes to help, and it's enough to throw the shot off. Geilinger with the rebound. Hines pushes it up to Kason Powell. Powell trying to make a drive, and he kicks it back out.
Getting a little more physical on each shot. I thought the last play when Geilinger come down with the ball, it looked like Casey Brooker had a little bit of a handcuff on him, but they didn't. It was a no call by the officials.
And he was a little bit handsy from the get-go. Bumps, and you can see Powell was wanting a little bump call. Narish not going to give it to him and calls him for being out of bounds. And you can see that they're letting them play here. Only 2 fouls this quarter, both on the Cadets. No fouls on the Shamrocks as of yet this quarter.
Kason Powell was driving hard on that baseline, and Fort Frye Cadet defender was just on his hip, riding him right through. And
he did. He gave him a couple little hockey checks there, probably enough to get the call most of the time out.
Yep.
Oops. Again.
I will say the officials are letting them play this third quarter.
Yep.
That was clearly a lot of body foul right there by Carter Brooker on Tayson Starr. Put him to the ground. They kind of are letting it go, and you know what? That doesn't bother me a whole lot because you can't call every little ticky-tack foul, but at the same time you gotta let them play a little bit. So.
Well, on the playground that would have fell under. Nice three-point shot there by Hunkler, but that last one would have fell under the no harm, no foul. The Shamrocks were going to come up with a ball, and so they decided they weren't going to put a foul call out.
Yeah, you're right there.
Fort Frye trying to be a little bit more patient here. You can see this is getting to be a critical juncture for the Cadets. You feel them kind of tightening up here. Under a minute to go, third quarter, down 4.
Looks like they're just trying to pull the Shamrocks out beyond the arc, and I can just see Fort Frye with somebody taking a back cut to the bucket. And there it is.
There was the back cut. Well, and they're content to work here for the last shot. I think this is what Coach Henniger wanted at the end of the first quarter, that last minute. When the Shamrocks were able to
force a few turnovers, yeah.
Hines lobbying, making a case that the ball went off the Cadet last, but Narish not going for it. 11.4 on the clock. Rocks up 4.
Shamrocks are quickly going to sub in Logan Dodd for Colton Hines, get him a little extra breather. These are the last 11 seconds going into that fourth quarter.
Nope. Dawson, late over to Morgenstern. Brooker is able to rebound, and the second chance is no good. Shamrocks outscore the Cadets there 16-9, I believe.
Yep.
So
took a 4-point lead.
Good quarter for the Shamrocks, and played with a lot more confidence there, a lot better defense, and you can see Fort Frye is just off kilter here a little bit. They haven't found their rhythm. They're not getting the looks that they got earlier in the game, and not able to hit at the outside shot like they were second quarter. And the Shamrocks have have just played a lot better here in the third quarter.
That was the best quarter of the game so far. Them first two quarters. First quarter was really shaky. Second quarter looked a little better. Had a little spurt at the end. Cut that lead from 10-3 going into halftime, and then come out a lot of intensity defensively. Looking really good in man defense, playing tough defense, and then offensively stroking the three. I mean, they hit 4 threes that quarter, and 2 twos for that 16 points.
They got into rhythm, and got into rhythm on the offensive end, and I think in part because of defense. There was no confusion on the defensive end. They played hard and aggressive on the defensive end, and then it translated over into a much cleaner third quarter. Not the bobbles, not the over dribbling that we saw in the first half.
Fort Frye coming out this fourth quarter with Dawson Layton, Zach Huffman, 44 Casey Brooker,
Owen Brown,
number 2 Owen Brown, and number 4 Zach Huffman.
Brown banks it in to cut it to 2.
Oh, 12. I'm sorry, 12. Clayton Miller. Shamrocks with Dodd, Starr, Asa Geilinger, Jeremy Hunkler, and Kason Powell on the floor.
Dodd to Hunkler. Hunkler a little off balance and left it a little short. Fort Frye is going to get the ball here on Hawaiian night in the greenhouse.
Just looked like Hunkler didn't have his feet underneath of him on that shot. He rushed it a little bit and just
wasn't
left it a little
quite sure
short.
He wanted to take it, and then all of a sudden said, I'm wide open at the top of the key. I got to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Hines back in for the Shamrocks. Logan Dodd going back over to the bench.
The sophomore, Zach Huffman, got loose there, but decides not to pull the trigger, and then the Cadets turn it over.
Yeah, Brooker was not ready for that pass. I think he thought that the shot was going to be going up. He was moving to the bucket to get in position for a rebound.
Throwing the big man a ball at the knees is never a good idea either. Tayson looking for Hunkler. Hunkler, head fake, floater's good, and the Rocks are back up 4, under 7 left in the fourth quarter. And Brown eyes it up and 4 foot behind the line, knocks it home, and it's a 1-point game. Hunkler to Starr. Starr to Hunkler. Ball gets deflected. And Brown tries his own floater off the rim. No good. You got to think the Shamrocks need to get the ball maybe to Geilinger a little bit here.
Yeah.
Geilinger's been pretty quiet. And they do get it to Geilinger. Geilinger at the top of the key to Powell. Powell drives, collected himself, had a good look. Ooh. Narish not giving Powell any love tonight. Brown.
And that hit, that was off the Fort Frye defender. Powell hustles back on defense, gets the block, went right off the top of the Fort Frye player's head, out of bounds. Shamrocks will get the ball back.
Worked out for the Shamrocks. Carpenter's going to come on the floor and give Asa a little bit of a break here. 5:44 left in the fourth. Shamrocks up 1. And another one. 2 fouls on the Cadets, none on the Shamrocks. Pretty well played quarter. We're going to get the third foul on the Cadets here. 5:32 to go. Shamrocks are up 1, and Fort Frye is going to switch big men. Hunkler setting up the offense to Geilinger. Geilinger back to Hunkler. Hunkler, again, not totally set. Geilinger gets caught with his toe on the line. Morgenstern comes back into the game. And we're going to get a little bit of pressure up here from the Shamrocks. Fort Frye, chance to retake the lead here. 5 minutes left in the fourth, down 1. Brown wanted to pull the trigger there. Layton will, and it's not going to go for him.
Jeremy Hunkler there for that defensive rebound for the Shamrocks.
Hunkler looking a little winded here.
I'm not for sure that I've seen him get a breather this whole game. I think he's been in the whole time, and it looks like it. I mean, he's...
Yep. The Shamrocks definitely look to try to be a little bit more patient, but that bumping defense can throw you off, and it did there. They get a little extra step in and turn it over. 4.5 to play, Rocks up 1. Huffman and Brown out top. Back and forth over to Miller, the freshman. Back to Layton. Layton felt good about that one, and it found the bottom of the net. That puts the Cadets up 2, approaching the 4-minute mark. Hunkler tends to get a little dribble happy at times. Over to Geilinger. Geilinger to Hines. Out to Starr. Starr coming in, makes a nice move to the bucket. Tipped out of bounds by Morgenstern. Shamrock's going to get another shot at it with 3:48 to go. Down 2.
Zach Huffman's going to head to the bench for the Cadets. And then they
Fort
call
Frye is
timeout.
going to talk about it. Fort Frye looking for win number 3 on the season here, trying to avoid their 10th loss. The Shamrocks wanting to get even on the year and hit 6-6 and regroup for the second half of the season and try to stay in that top 4 of the OVAC.
Shamrock cheerleaders with a little tumbling action across the floor. I've been corrected. That is, I was let known by a wonderful fan that was a back handspring. All the years my daughter was in gymnastics and cheerleading, it was just tumbling for me. So now I've been enlightened.
And Shamrock's going to take it out underneath. Hunkler looking, and he's contested. Powell loses the ball. Fort Frye comes up. Huck to Morgenstern, might have taken an extra step, no call. Layton out to Brown. Brown to Layton. Layton to the freshman, rejected by Hines, trailing on the play. Lucky that ended in just an out of bounds. Fort Frye's Huck going to take it out underneath. Shamrocks talking on defense, trying to prevent Fort Frye from widening this lead. Morgenstern with the ball. He's going to go to Layton. Layton to Huck. Huck at the top of the key. Back to Morgenstern. To Miller to Brown. Fort Frye trying to be patient with the ball and work for a good shot here. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left in the fourth. Cadets up 2. The Washington Countyans trying to pull out a win on the road. Shamrocks are going to call timeout here with just over 3:07 left to go in the game. Down 2. Still has not been a foul call on the Shamrocks for tonight, so can't grumble too much about not getting some of the calls on your end when you haven't been whistled for a foul on the other end.
And just a correction on something I gave earlier. I said that the Shamrocks varsity swim team would be at Steubenville for the OVAC championships this Saturday. Someone went ahead and let me know that that's actually been changed to Brook High School. So the OVAC Swim Championship Saturday will be at Brook High School. Another beautiful venue and a nice place to enjoy an event like that. Also, just another shout out for our sponsor of tonight's game, Do It Best Hardware. Can't say enough wonderful things about those folks at Do It Best Hardware, located at 140 South Chestnut Street in beautiful downtown Barnesville, Ohio.
We've got a 4-game homestand coming up here at the end of January, so sponsors wanting to put those games on and let some of the older folks in town stay at home during these cold nights and still get to watch high school sports. Contact Strauss Films and see how you can sponsor these high school athletes.
And I will say, through the first 3.5 quarters, Coach Pack, this has been a really good, hard-fought ball game by both teams. The effort put out forth by the Shamrocks and the Cadets tonight have been great, and I think we're going to come down to a final shot to win this game.
Fort Frye, for only being 2-9, they've had 2 or 3 games that have come down to the wire and lost by 5, lost by 6. Now they've had a couple where they've lost by larger margin, but they're playing bigger schools.
And, they've taken on
basketball power.
Warren
they've got
twice,
a pretty tough schedule.
You know, they've played some competition, and so maybe that's why their current record is what it is. You know. But if you want to be good, you got to play good teams and not be afraid to take on the bigger schools.
Fort Frye is definitely plays a tough schedule and gets them ready for tournament time. And you can tell the Cadets have improved as the years went on here. And like we said earlier in the game, it's just all come down to who can get some confidence here. And this is going to be a big boost second half of the season. Nice ball movement by the Cadets.
They kept working it. And passing across court, working the perimeter, and then there was the backdoor cut and right to the hoop.
The Fort Frye teams of old, they're working the ball around with a 2-point lead and getting just an excellent look at the bucket. Now, Barnesville, 2 minutes to go in the game, down 4, really needs to have a good look at the hoop here and get some points.
Ooh, that was a quick foul on Zayden Huck.
Yep. And kind of a little bit out of sync here on, they've been letting those go. We're going to tighten things up here the last 2 minutes. Hunkler to Hines in the corner. Hines, when he's looking comfortable, he's pretty impressive. When he gets a little bit off kilter, the Shamrocks struggle. Oh, and he's going to get whistled. And again, yes, he's guilty, but that's just a good job by Fort Frye being in a position and collecting their body and selling the foul. That's good basketball on Fort Frye's part, being in a position to do that. And Fort Frye is going to get the timeout. And in the old days, this was killer time for the Cadets. 90 seconds to go, 4-point lead. They were going to run the clock out. And they were going to
work their offense, and you were going to have to hustle to try to get a steal and get the ball, or you're forced to foul. Put them on the foul line, and then get the ball out of bounds and try to make your shot.
Yeah. Well, and the Shamrocks have had a lot of opportunities, a lot of empty possessions here in the fourth quarter where they've not got a good look or just some hustle moments by the Cadets that forced some turnovers. And the Shamrocks would like to have a few of those possessions back. Sure would be nice to be up 4 instead of down 4.
Yeah.
Because the Cadets have settled in here, and you can tell they're feeling pretty good about themselves. All the pressure on the home team down 4 late in the game.
And the Shamrocks are currently sitting with 2 team fouls, so they're a little ways away. They're going to have to foul several times.
Have to get after it here, and
if they're trying to put Fort Frye on the line to switch those possessions. Colton Hines with 4 fouls for the Shamrocks. Case and Powell 2. Asa Geilinger with 1. So they'll have to be selective too with who's doing what.
Yep. Hines with 4 can't be given a foul. Might have been a time to take him off the floor and let somebody else come out and slap somebody to get a quick one. Oh, Shamrocks force a miss but nobody on the backside, and Fort Frye gets an easy lay-in, and they are all over the freshman, Miller, all over Case and Powell.
And that's going to be Miller's first foul for the Cadets.
And we're still 2 fouls away from the one-on-one on this side of the floor. Oh, Kaysen almost lost it. Almost a double dribble there, but they'll get the benefit of the doubt. Shamrocks.
Starr had Asa Geilinger underneath for a split second, and when he saw him and tried to force the pass in, the Fort Frye defense had corrected, fell down in, got into the passing lane, got the steal.
Just some bad luck there for the Shamrocks.
Tucker Costello is going to check in real quick. Asa Geilinger is going to get a breather on the bench.
Up 6 here. Again, this might have been a time to let Hines have a little bit of a break because we're in a foul position here.
Casey Powell's going to get the quick foul.
We're probably going to have to foul here again, and you don't want Hines to foul out. It probably would have been a good time to let somebody else get the foul here.
Yeah, get him off, save his final foul, get someone in there because he's currently in a position where you can't use him to do that.
That might be number 5 on Hines, depending on whether they give it to Hines or Hunkler.
They're going to give it to Hunkler, but I was going to say it could have probably been either or.
Yep.
That's going to put number 12, Clayton Miller, on the line. Going to shoot a couple foul shots here.
And you certainly didn't want to foul them in the act of shooting, but wouldn't have mattered. He knocks the first one home anyway. And 7 points feels pretty large right now. But with the Shamrocks' outside shooting capabilities,
it's not out of reach.
Get back in it pretty quick. Down 8, 53 seconds. And
Shamrock's going to use one of their timeouts. They're going to have 2 left on the ball game.
Yeah, and so we have a little bit of clock discrepancy there, but we're at 47.7 on the clock. Shamrocks down 8 with the ball. And both teams 5 fouls, 2 fouls away from 1-on-1. So Fort Frye's got a foul to give here. And I don't know if they're working on the clock right now, trying to figure out how much time should have been taken off, because it didn't start on the inbounds and then it continued on after the whistle. So
we got assistant coach Jamie Carpenter checking with the scores table, making sure, probably seeing who has how many fouls to confirm for Coach Hines, and that's what a good assistant does for you. It's on top of the little things.
Yep, you got to watch that clock in a close game. Every second is going to be precious for the Shamrocks, who get the benefit of the doubt here. In 56 seconds goes back on the clock.
Geilinger is going to check back in, and Duker is going to check out during that last timeout.
Shamrocks need to have a little more urgency here. Under a minute, down 8. Powell from deep. Ooh,
that was in and out.
The rim. Hines gets the rebound, and he's going to get fouled.
Casey Powell shot that from about 30 feet, and
the spiking line. He was at the spiking line.
It took 3 trips around the inside of the rim and decided it wanted to come back out.
At the park, I think they called that the old toilet ringer that didn't go in. That one went in, and the Shamrocks have cut it to 7. Dodd comes into the game looking for a little smaller, faster lineup and maybe potential outside shooting. Hines cuts it to 6, so a 2-possession game with 42.8 to go. Costello back on the floor, and the Rocks extend the full court pressure, trying to deny. They were trying to get the foul. Huffman in trouble, gets out of it, and the Shamrocks foul.
Shamrocks nearly had the steal down on the baseline, but just wasn't able to come up with it.
That would have been a big one. We got one more to the 1-on-1, and so Fort Frye is going to get a inbound it again here under the increased pressure. Costello gets the quick one, and we're going to go to 1-on-1. Hines coming back in with 4 fouls on him. Geilinger also coming back. Just doing a little offense for defensive switch here. 35.4 left.
Starr and Dodd will check out. And Geilinger, like Coach Pack said, Geilinger and Hines back on the floor.
So this is a 1-on-1 here. Fort Frye normally deadly from the line. Sophomore Zach Huffman, good on the first.
Fort Frye's 4 for 4 as a team.
Misses the second. Geilinger gets a rebound and has it taken off of him by Brown. Owen Brown, the junior, with a big steal.
Geilinger came down with a big rebound right there. Turned around to make the easy outlet pass and may have taken the abilities of the Fort Frye player for granted and jumped up, stole the ball.
Well, and he was, trying to hurry, trying to realize in the times of the essence.
Yep.
Got a little bit too fast, and it cost him.
Zayden Huck makes the first for the Cadets.
And they're going to try to make it a 9-point lead here with 31 seconds to go. He misses, but Fort Frye gets the rebound. And Fort Frye content to just run out the clock. Costello gets the foul with 22.1. Down 8 for the Shamrocks. Foul number 9. This will be another 1-on-1 opportunity. Owen Brown, the junior, again at the line, shooting 1-on-1. And missed it.
They're giving the Shamrocks the opportunity.
Ooh, good, about as good a look as you're going to get there in a rushed moment, and it just didn't go. Shamrocks commit the foul, 14.5, down 8, and things are looking bleak. But been a very entertaining game, and Fort Frye looking like the Fort Frye of old. They got some confidence there, were able to execute in the half-court offense. Once they got the lead, they've just kind of locked things down, and the Shamrocks have played a little bit of panic basketball.
Yeah.
For about the last 2.5 minutes of the game, and it's cost them.
Kason Powell picked up his 4th foul.
Good on both. It's a 10-point lead.
For the Shamrocks.
Kason from the spiking line again, and it goes, but maybe a little too late. Shamrocks extend pressure up, and that's going to be the ball game. Fort Frye picks up its 3rd win of the season. They moved to 3-9 on the season here as they move towards the second half here with a little bit more confidence. Younger players coming along and showing kind of Fort Frye of old. The Shamrocks just not consistent enough at times, as well as they played the 3rd quarter. Wasn't there in the 4th quarter. What did we get outscored in the 4th quarter? What was the?
Well, the final score was 50-48. Or no, I'm sorry, 50
43.
43.
We get to 3 at the end, so 50-43.
Yeah, we were outscored that final quarter. Shamrocks had 36 at the end of the 3rd. Fort Frye had 32, which we were leading by 4, and then we got outscored by 11 in the 4th quarter, which was the difference in the ball game.
Yep. As good as the 3rd quarter was, that's how bad the 4th quarter was. Fort Frye able to regroup after losing the lead, going down 4 in the 3rd. Shamrocks, needed to do what Fort Frye there did and lock it down, play some half-court offense, force Fort Frye to foul a little bit more, and we just enough turnovers and enough empty possessions that Fort Frye was able to wrestle their way into the lead, and then once they had the lead, they weren't going to give it up.
Yep. Some quick stats for the Shamrocks. Colton Hines finished with 10. Tayson Starr with 3. Kason Powell with 5 3-pointers and a deuce for 17. Asa Geilinger had 2. And Jeremy Hunkler with 11. That rounded out the Shamrock scoring. It's been a pleasure working with Coach Pack again. I hope you folks at home enjoyed our broadcast. Please support Strauss Films. Also support tonight's sponsor, Do It Best Hardware in Barnesville. Please, if you're a local business out there, and I know Coach Pack has said it several times, if you like enjoying this, go ahead and sponsor these broadcasts. It benefits the youth of the community, and it enables a lot of people who, in the times that we live in today, to enjoy high school basketball, whether you're a Fort Frye Cadet or a Barnesville Shamrock, in the comforts of your own home, and still get to support the youth that you know in your neighborhoods.
And a lot of good basketball left here second half of the season, and then we get close to tournament time. Like we said, we've got a 4-game homestand coming up with Caldwell, St. Clairsville, Buckeye Local, and Bridgeport. Some winnable games there as the Shamrocks try to hold on to the 4th spot in their OVAC standings and make a little run here.
Yep. Well, we'll sign off and thank the Noah and Drew Strauss, their wonderful technical abilities today, and we'll make sure we keep bringing you the best that we can.
And even with the terrorist attack, I think somewhere in the middle of that there that had the camera rolling down.
At that point in time, I thought maybe a Fort Frye fan purposely kicked the tripod, but I couldn't confirm it.
Yep.
Thank you, folks, and I hope you enjoyed.